What is up, everybody? I hope we're having a wonderful day so far. Welcome back to the Relentless Pursuit podcast. Today, we're going to be going over 5 simple changes that you can make today to balance your hormones. This podcast is going to be awesome, so make sure you keep listening. Okay, balancing your hormones sometimes can be a very complex and balancing your hormones can sometimes be a very complex and difficult journey. However, for the average individual, most of the time it just requires lifestyle changes and nutritional changes to help get their hormones back in balance. Especially if you maybe have imbalanced cortisol, your stress hormones are a little bit high. Following these 5 very simple tips will help you balance your hormones day to day, and they're super easy. So let's dive into it. The first tip here is protein before coffee. Now, the reason that I say this is when you drink coffee on an empty stomach, this can spike your cortisol, spike your stress hormones, leading to maybe that jittery feeling, anxiety, too much like energy, that energy spike, which is not good for your hormones at all because obviously you're getting an unnatural spike in your stress hormones, leading to a stressful rest of the day. So, what I always recommend, the first thing that I do for my clients who need to balance their hormones or improve their overall health and lifestyle is make sure that you eat protein before coffee. For some individuals, maybe drinking a protein shake in the morning before their coffee is best if they don't like eating food in the morning. But I always recommend eating some form of protein before your coffee, okay? Next thing is eat balanced meals with 20 to 50 grams of protein per meal. Now, this is extremely important for reducing insulin resistance, okay? So obviously insulin resistance is a very, very common cause of metabolic inflexibility and diabetes, okay? So one very simple switch that you can make to help you balance your stress hormones, prevent that glucose spike, as well as improve insulin sensitivity is to eat balanced meals with 20 to 50 grams of protein per meal. This can be a little bit difficult when you're just starting getting into eating balanced meals. Maybe you're not used to adding protein into your meal. Maybe you're just used to adding a tiny little bit of protein per meal, but just increasing the serving size of protein per meal, making sure that you always have protein with every meal, protein with your snacks, everything like that is extremely important for stabilizing your blood sugar, improving insulin sensitivity, and balancing out your stress hormones because that spike in glucose is not good for that. The next thing that I recommend doing or not doing is not drinking more than 1 to 2 cups of coffee a day or no more than 100 to 200 milligrams. This may come as a surprise for a lot of people, or maybe you're like, oh man, I drink like 600 milligrams of coffee per day. So if that's you, then don't be alarmed, okay? But definitely just decrease your consumption of coffee. Maybe try decrease it by 1 cup per day until you get to 1 to 2, depending on if you're drinking like 4 or 5 cups of coffee per day. I know some people do that, but definitely lower it incrementally. Obviously, you don't want to be causing any of those withdrawal symptoms like excessive fatigue, headaches, stuff like that is obviously will impact your day to day. So decrease it slowly until you're able to get to no more than 1 to 2 cups of coffee a day for optimal health. Obviously, I always recommend try not to drink more than 1 cup of coffee a day, but maybe 2 if needed, if you just need to get through the day, whatever, it happens. But that's a really big recommendation to help. As I mentioned in the first one, protein before caffeine. Caffeine spikes those stress hormones, spikes that cortisol. If your cortisol is constantly elevated, that can eventually lead to a ton of fatigue and weight gain and cognitive problems. You can't concentrate, brain fog, inflammation, all of this stuff. So that's why the best thing that I recommend when it comes to balancing your hormones is to drink no more than 1 to 2 cups of coffee a day, okay? Now, the fourth one is to have a consistent sleep schedule, getting 7 to 9 hours per night. Some people think that just getting 7 to 9 hours per night is fine no matter what time it is, but overwhelming amount of research has been showing that it's consistent sleep that matters the most. Of course, consistent sleep also helps with sleep quality. If your bedtime schedule and wake up schedule is all over the place, maybe some days you go to bed at 9, wake up at 5, other days you go to bed at 2 a.m., wake up at 12. Even if you're still getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep, that's still messing up your circadian rhythm, messing up your sleep. Your sleep's quality is going to be worse. You're going to feel more tired, fatigued. Your body is not going to be able to recover as well. It's not going to be flushing out those toxins from your brain and your body as good. Autophagy isn't going to be as effective. So Making sure that you have a consistent sleep schedule is extremely important. Now, if you're one of those people who maybe it's really, really difficult for you to have a consistent sleep schedule, maybe you're a shift worker, maybe you work nights and days and you switch that pretty frequently, just don't stress about it too much, okay? Because that will just make it worse. Just try to optimize other parts of your lifestyle and your sleep itself as best as possible, like maybe making sure that you're taking magnesium before you go to bed to help improve the quality of your sleep, little things like that, making sure that your sleep environment is good, stuff like that. Just making sure that you optimize everything else is really important. But if able, please make sure that you get consistent sleep, okay? Now, the fifth and last one is walk at least 30 minutes per day with no distraction. Now, this does many things for you. One thing, obviously, it helps get you more into a parasympathetic state. Your brain isn't, maybe some people like to walk and scroll on Instagram. Your brain, you're getting that dopamine. Maybe you're looking at stressful news. Maybe you're like comparing yourself to people, whatever. That's not a way to truly relax, okay? So, by walking without distraction, you're able to get into a parasympathetic state. Movement is extremely important for calming your body, getting your body into a rest and digest. It helps with your gut health. It helps your brain. It helps improve cognitive function. It helps improve joint health and your metabolism. It helps improve so many things along with balancing your stress hormones because you're getting into that parasympathetic state. There are other ways that you can get into the parasympathetic state, like meditation or deep breathing. But honestly, for some people, that just may not be for them. So I find that for people who don't prefer meditation, deep breathing, whatever, they really enjoy going on walks with no distraction because it feels like they're doing something productive, but they're still, relaxing and everything like that. So, anyways, those are 5 extremely simple tips to help you balance your hormones that you can implement today. Okay. If you need any help with implementing these tips, or if you're really confused on why I would have this as a tip to help you balance your hormone, please reach out to me. Let me know if you need further explanation. Let me know. I love to help. So I'll be talking to you soon if you have any questions. I hope this helped you out. If it did, be sure to share with a friend because that will help me grow my podcast and I'd really appreciate it. I will talk to you later.